Hi, I'm Brendan Moran.
And I'm Ruby Lopez, and welcome to Creek Currents.
This month, I'm heading to Borges Ranch for Walnut Creek's biggest Heritage Day yet.
But first up, there are lots of changes headed to the streets of Walnut Creek, and I went straight to the source to find out more. Now today we're here chatting with Police Chief Tom Chaplin, and we're going to be talking about some of the changes that the Walnut Creek Police Department has recently made aimed at keeping our community safer and healthier. So thank you so much for joining us, Chief.
Well, I'm excited about it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So talk to us about some of the changes that have been made within the force recently.
Well, some of the transition that we've undergone includes we have changed the way we deploy our officers, which means essentially we have changed the shift and the schedule for the police department. We've done this in an effort to ensure we have more officers on the street for the busiest times of day. We've also increased the overlap. This change has given us the opportunity to get our motor team back out there in a full-time capacity. They've been on a hiatus for the last couple of years due to some staffing concerns.
Now you mentioned that you have the motor team back out there, so what can drivers expect?
Well, they can expect the high-profile visibility from our motor officers, and they can expect that if they are, driving inappropriately, they might be contacted by one of our fine motor officers.
Okay.
Which, by the way, is not what we want. Ideally, we would just have people observe the rules of the road, drive in a very safe and courteous manner, and be in a better position to meet our officers by waving to them versus being pulled over by them.
Yeah, absolutely. Now let's talk about community policing. What is it and why is it so important?
Community policing is really the foundation of what we want to do at the Walnut Creek Police Department. It basically means that police officers, police staff works in concert with the community to address ongoing problems, long-term crime or quality of life issues, and that we work together to resolve these and really create long-term solutions. It could be something as simple as an ongoing crime problem, a trend or a series in a specific area, where we work with the community to say, listen, we need you to be our eyes and ears, and what we will do is go out there and try to stop inappropriate behavior from occurring, educate the community to essentially harden the target, and really work together to resolve the problem.
Yeah, so teamwork and open communication, right?
Open communication is really the foundation of community policing. I'll give you a perfect example. We've had a growing trend of vehicles being broken into. And when I look more closely at what's happening, people are breaking into cars, they're smashing the windows, they're seeking other ways into the cars, and they're stealing valuable items such as GPS, cell phones, iPads, or laptops, or purses. So if I could have an conversation with the community, a simple step would be don't leave valuables in your car, or at least put them in your trunk, lock your vehicle, and be aware of your surroundings.
Now I've also heard that you're working with the Rossmore community. How's that going?
Fantastic. Rossmore is a special and unique community within Walnut Creek. Just under 10,000 people, which represents roughly 15% of our population living in Rossmore. We have sought ways to interact with the Rossmore community in a way that increases their perception and feeling of safety and security. And there are unique issues in Rossmore. We have been speaking with them directly on traffic-related concerns, and on fraud and other crimes that can impact a community like Rossmore. One of the things we've started is a monthly Coffee with a Cop program. So every third Thursday from 10 to 11:30, we're at the Rossmore Clubhouse, and we spend time talking with the community, asking what's on their mind. And it's a good opportunity for someone to come up with maybe a simple question about, hey, how would I report this, or is this a problem, or how do I volunteer? Because we're always looking for volunteers. But just an opportunity to engage. If we're present and open and able and willing to talk to people, it helps us solve problems before they become major issues, but also kind of tears down the walls and barriers that sometimes exist that can be caused simply from the uniform.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I'm sensing the theme here, communication, going out there and just really being with the community.
Absolutely. There's no question our primary function is to work for the community.
Yeah.
We have 4 primary objectives as police officers. Well, you know, we seek to reduce crime, to reduce the fear of crime, keep the streets safe, and improve the quality of life, really for the Walnut Creek community and everybody that resides within or works here or visits here. So in order to do that, we have to be at the table and understand what are the areas that you want us to work on. So this level of connectivity is huge. In fact, I want our department to do things that other departments don't do, to engage with our community in new and special ways. One recent move towards that was I've created a professional Twitter account. It's at WCPD Chief Chaplin, where we can share good news and really kind of an informal way to share what's going on within the department, or to address issues that are occurring in a real-time and quick way.
All right, I like it. Police Chief Chaplin,
WCP.
active on Twitter. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Now, I also understand that you're implementing the School Resource Officer Program. So what do you hope to achieve with that?
Well, really, we'd like to have our officers assigned directly in the school. So their primary function would be to report to the schools in the day, work with the students, work with staff, work with parents, really to make sure that the students are feeling safe, they have an opportunity to interact with our officers, but more importantly, so we can really help to educate and lead through some of the difficult problems that kids encounter during school. You know, let's face it, there is underage drinking, there is substance abuse issues, there are things that exist now in high school that really weren't there when I was in high school, not to age myself, but the internet's fantastic. However, there are issues that come from those very resources that are so fantastic. We've seen instances where people were bullied via social media, inappropriate images were shared via social media, blatant cheating in terms of homework and the dissemination of confidential material has been occurring. So if we have somebody that's present that could answer questions and help prevent some of these issues, even if it's just a quick interaction that says, hey, here is what can happen with underage drinking. Our officers are going to have some anecdotal stories to say, I experienced this once and we care about you, so reconsider perhaps what you're doing. And if we reach 1 or 2 people, which I'm confident we'd reach a lot more, it's what we should be doing. So getting our school resource officers in the schools and engaged is going to be really important for us.
Okay, now you mentioned that you have your own Twitter page, but talk to us about some of the other many ways to stay engaged and connected with the force.
Well, I'm glad you reminded me, because the department has a Twitter page. We use Nixle, and we also use Facebook to engage with the community. So there are a lot of options to follow along with what we're doing, and even on the city's own website. Unfortunately, with all this great technology and the things we have access to, there are some unintended consequences. And one of the areas that I'm particularly concerned with is in the area of distracted driving. You simply cannot go anywhere without seeing people texting and driving. This is not a young person's issue either. This is everybody. You'll see them stopped at lights after everybody else has driven forward, or you're going down the freeway, somebody swerves, and you catch up to them and they're right back at texting. So I would just really ask people to consider, is that text that they're sending, that email that they're reading, as important as their own lives or the lives of others? There's just too much at stake. We've got to really tackle this issue. Now,
overall, what I'm getting is that it's really just important to go out there, like we were saying, communicating with the community, being a part of them and being with them. So, in wrapping this up, what would you say to the community and how they can best get involved or be in contact with you?
I would say follow along with what we're doing. Let us know what you need from us. When there's the opportunity, let's work together in concert to solve issues and problems. We are going to be doing a lot with our crime reduction model in days and months and years to come. in an effort to really focus on what's going on in the community. We're going to have to share that information, and we need people to be basically plugged in. It is very easy to feel comfortable in Walnut Creek. It's a beautiful community. There's much to do, and we would like to make it the safest community that anybody could live in. In order to do that, we've just got to have a great partnership with the people that are here. So please feel free to come by and visit. If you see one of our officers out on the street or in one of the coffee stores, you can't really say one of the coffee stores, because this kind of Pete's Starbucks thing in Walnut Creek is like a Coke Pepsi thing.
Okay.
So if you see somebody at one of the local coffee shops or at the schools, say hi to them. Ask, hey, what's going on in my neighborhood? You know, what can I do to help? And, you know, just how can we make this a safer environment and make sure we have a fantastic quality of life?
Okay, well, great. Chief, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to look for the Chief on Twitter, and also say hello when you see them out in the streets.
Please do. WCPD Chief Chaplin. Look forward to talking to people that way.
Okay, thanks again.
Thank you.
Sounds like a lot of good new ideas from Chief Chaplin.
They really are. And if you have some great ideas that you'd like to share, well, then head over to the police website citizen input page and share your thoughts with the Chief.
Speaking of sharing, here's a story that'll take you back old school, Ruby.
Well, the Walnut Creek Grammar School was on a hill from the Main Street area. It was kindergarten through 8th grade, and the kids from the whole area would come in, not by bus. They would ride their bikes, they would walk, run. There were no buses for the transportation of children in those days. And I went through kindergarten, through the 8th grade. That school was torn down when the hill was removed, and a commercial development was developed right where the grammar school was. It's interesting also that when they left grammar school, went to high school, there was no Acalanes at that time. And the kids would go down to the railroad station and get on the Sacramento Northern train to Concord and attend the Mount Diablo High School, which was the only high school in the immediate area. Soon after that, the Acalanes High School District was formed, and it took the kids from Orinda, Moraga, Lafayette, Walnut Creek, and they attended the Acalanes High School. And then, of course, Acalanes has grown over the years, and Las Lomas High School in Walnut Creek was built after that.
Now, downtown Walnut Creek isn't the only place with lots of history. I recently headed to the hills to find out what life was like over 100 years ago. The City Centennial continues with Heritage Day at Borges Ranch, and there is a lot to see, so let's get started. I'm here with Councilmember Cindy Silva, who is very busy today. Isn't that right?
That's right, I am.
This is a big day for Walnut Creek.
It is. It is one of our 3 signature events to celebrate our centennial, which is, of course, our 100th birthday.
Now, what's going on today?
This is Heritage Day at Borges Ranch. It is an annual event. It's been held for about 25 or 30 years, but this year we decided that we would dovetail it with the centennial, and we've amped it up a bit. We've brought in some bands and great music, and we've brought in food trucks and a lot more activity. It's really about celebrating Walnut Creek's ranching heritage. So when you come out here to Borges Ranch, you can learn how a blacksmith shop worked, or you can see animals and goats and sheep. But it's a great day and a great way to celebrate our centennial.
Now, today is just one on a list of things which the city is doing for the centennial, right? And you're on the Centennial Committee.
That's right.
So tell us what else we can expect for
Well,
this year?
first, this is the city's centennial, but the Centennial Committee is actually a community-based group of people. There are 20 or 21 of us on the committee. And in addition to this event, we have another signature event at the end of the year. Actually, it's on October 18th. It's the birthday picnic at Shadelands Ranch and the Shadelands Ranch Museum. We also have 4th of July in Civic Park, and we're going to have the Walnut Creek Concert Band at 6 o'clock in the evening. And then there are more than 100 other ways to celebrate the centennial that are being sponsored by community organizations. So it's a fabulous way to really celebrate what we've accomplished together over the last 100 years and to think about where we want to go for the next 100 years.
It's a busy year, so get out there, everybody. Thank you very much, Cindy.
Thank you.
All right, I'm here with Katie McCormick, and she is at the crafts table, and she's going to teach me how to make a sheep. This one looks pretty good, so I'm nervous. So let's get started. What's the first step?
So we're gonna start with gluing.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be very difficult. I got you there.
Okay, we're gluing.
And then you want to place this at an angle, right where you put the glue.
Now, is this the tail?
No, this is the head.
Oh,
So-
obviously.
Right
Okay.
there. And then you're gonna take this, and this is these are the front legs.
Starting to take shape.
Now we're gonna do the fun part, which is the coloring.
You gave me the easy job. I can see what you're doing here, Katie.
Okay, and then we're just gonna lay some wool down.
Now, did you shear this wool yourself?
No.
Or did somebody else do that?
Yeah, someone else. did
Okay.
that. Okay, and then you're gonna.
Whoa, Katie, hold
that
on.
was a little bit crazy. Getting crazy here. This is very.
You're a little liberal with that glue.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna put a bell on it
Oh,
because so just tie it around, or not tie it, just it's already tied.
just loop
Just
it.
loop it around the neck.
All right. So if our sheep gets lost, we
can-
know how to find
yeah.
it. Okay, good idea.
And then we're done.
Thank you very much. Nice job. Okay. I'm here with Ranger Dan Byland. Dan, this is your Super Bowl.
Yeah,
right?
it is. Yep. Heritage
year?
Day. Once a year, annual big event up here at the ranch.
And that's just today, but
That's just today.
people can come up here any other day, right?
Every day of the year. Open from about 7 a.m. till sunset. We still have all the animals. You won't have the big crowds like this, but you can come up, go hiking in the open space. You can have a picnic at the ranch. Good outdoor experience.
So what is Borges Ranch?
Borges Ranch is a historical ranch site. The Borges family came over from Portugal in the 1870s. They bought this land in 1899 and started running dairy cows on it. It's on the National Register of Historic Places, so it's actually registered through the federal government.
Yeah, it's a great place to come out and spend the day.
Yeah, wonderful spot.
Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
Do you guys live in Walnut Creek?
Yeah.
Do you remember what it was like 100 years ago? No. Well, this is a pretty good idea. They had goats and chickens running around. And they had the guy from American Idol, too, 100 years ago. That's a joke.
No, my name is Matt Rogers, and seriously, it is a pleasure being here. I've never been to Walnut Creek before, so thank you to all the good people of Walnut Creek for having us here. I hope you guys like some country music. All right, and I hope you're ready to round up. Here we go. Come on. Let's get it started now and put on a show. Heels in the ground. Come on, ready, set, go. Round up. Take your partner by the hand. It's times like these we can all understand. From the ground up's easy enough. Kick off the dust and round up.
Great job making that sheep, Brendan. I'm impressed.
Thank you, Ruby. The secret is actually extra glue.
Okay.
And there's a lot of more fun activities to celebrate the city centennial, including a 4th of July picnic at Civic Park. Hope to see you there.
And we'll see you next time on Creek Currents.